Bradley Stalder here with a player profiler projections team for week 15. And you won't believe some of the insane projections we have compared to the expert consensus rankings. This show crushed it last week in week 14, the week you need to get into the fantasy playoffs. We said Isaac Orenda was a must start. And what did he do? Put up the running back 2. We had him at running back 7. Garendo was outside the top 10 of running backs, and there were questions of should you start him? We said start him, and he crushed it for you. We also said deep cut Isaiah Davis. Isaiah Davis was outside the top 40 of consensus rankings. We said he was a top 30 play, RB17. He got us some flex points. Got you in, especially if you were desperation flex. So we're going to bring it to you again for week 15, first week of the fantasy playoffs. The first player is Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen has been resurgent the last couple games coming off of injury. He has been the wide receiver 46, the wide receiver 6, and the wide receiver 17 over the last 3 games. He's been getting red zone targets. Red zone targets indicate confidence from Bryce Young. Right now, Adam Thielen is the expert consensus wide receiver 33. He is a locked and loaded wide receiver 2 in our projections, wide receiver 14. He's hit around that number the last 2 weeks. He's gotten either the touchdowns or the receiving yards, 99 and 102 receiving yards on 10 and 11 targets over the last 2 games. You are firing up Adam Thielen in week number 15 as the Carolina Panthers are favored facing the Dallas Cowboys. Wild stuff. We're playing Adam Thielen. The second projection that's going to blow your mind. That's right. Josh Downs. You're like, wait, Josh Downs, he's just a little nugget of a player, 5'9", 170. Some of you are 5'9", 170, but Josh Downs is coming back from his injury. He's expected to play this week. And look, the expert consensus right now is very low on Josh Downs. What kind of confidence can we have in Josh Downs? Wide receiver 64. If you're looking for a flex play, Josh Downs is an answer. He is number 4 among all receivers in the NFL in target rate, number 14 in target share, number 16 in red zone targets. Usually the shorter wide receivers don't get that many red zone targets, but he's number 16 and has missed some games. So clearly a red zone threat for this Indianapolis Colts offense. They're going to need, and in particular for the development of Anthony Richardson, it's going to be good for Josh Downs to be returning. He's going to be hyper targeted. We look at the last couple games that Josh Downs was active, 7, 5, 10, 9 targets over the last 5 games. So we want to be firing up Josh Downs as a flex play. He's our wide receiver, 24 spots ahead of consensus on Josh Downs. The final player is a fade. We're fading Zay Flowers. The expert consensus has Zay Flowers at wide receiver 23 in what is expected to be one of the biggest discrepancy matchups of the season. The Baltimore Ravens are favored by 16 points. And you're saying, aren't they going to just blow out the Giants? Aren't the Ravens going to do that? The answer is probably yes. Do you think that Zay Flowers or Mark Andrews or any of the other receivers are going to get the targets and target share that's necessary to get them up there? They could, but we have moved Zay Flowers down to wide receiver 33. And in fact, Zay Flowers has been outside the top 30 of wide receivers over each of the last 4 weeks. Wide receiver 47, 35, 32, and 42. That's despite having 6 or more targets each of the last 6 games. We've seen over the last 4 weeks him not producing for fantasy, and in a game where it could just turn into a Justice Hill game, right? We might see some Keaton Mitchell or Rasheen Ali, the backup running backs, just assault away the game. I don't expect this to be competitive, and neither should you. This is one of those classic trap games where you start your studs, but maybe the Baltimore Ravens don't play their studs the full complement of snaps. So that's just how we want to prepare for that range of outcomes. Is a fade this week, 10 spots below consensus, wide receiver 23 to wide receiver 33. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Bradley Stalder for the projections team. Until next time, good luck in your fantasy football playoff matchups.